personal story that I'm hoping, if it helps at least one of you watching this, it will be well worth being a little bit vulnerable with you. So the quote is, "It's in the decision that the change begins." And I don't remember where I heard the quote, if it was in a video or on a podcast, but the decision is where the change begins. The commitment is where the change begins. So I was very overweight as an elementary school boy. So much so that when I was 11 years old, I weighed as much or more as I weigh now as a 43-year-old as of yesterday. And it is something that I struggled with until I got to a point where I made a decision. So here's the story. I can remember very clearly going shopping right before my 12th birthday. So it was in January, it was after Christmas, it was before my 12th birthday. And we were at the VF factory outlets in West Reading, Pennsylvania. Those are somewhat world famous, but we were at the VF factory outlets. And we were shopping for clothes. I was shopping for pants because I didn't have any pants that fit me anymore. Like I'd gotten so big. And I remember very clearly, very vividly, the frustration and the just like desperation that I felt that there were very few options that fit me at all. And the only ones that even remotely fit me were they called them the husky section. And I remember making a decision right then and there and committing to my mom at the time, I am never going to have to shop in the husky section again. I am going to make a change. I decided and I committed to make a change. And over the next 2 months, as an 11-year-old who turned 12, I lost 35 pounds, between 35 and 40 pounds in a 2-month period as a fifth grade. Forget what grade that would have been. But I remember for sure it was 11 turning 12. And I did it through what I would say a very methodical diet. I literally ate no desserts. I ate the same thing for lunch every day. I don't remember what I ate for breakfast, but for lunch every day, I had a sandwich, I had an orange, and I had carrots. A sandwich and orange, literally every day. I remember going to family parties and I didn't have any desserts. I didn't have, and my, relatives would be like, why don't you have a piece of cake? Why don't you? Nope. I have decided I'm losing weight. I had made a decision, and that decision and that commitment enabled me to drastically change not only my physical appearance, but it also drastically changed my mind and my level of discipline and so forth. And it was life-changing. The point of the story, though, is I changed. The change began when I decided, when I got completely fed up. I had enough, and I committed, and I made a decision, and I went all in. There was no way I wasn't going to make that happen. And here's the point for you. I don't know what it is that you're waiting on, making a decision or making a commitment about, but and I heard, I've heard Tony Robbins say this as well. Tony Robbins, if you don't know, I mean, he's one of the more famous sort of motivational and even well beyond that now. But I've heard him say, people will ask him, Tony, how long does it take to change a habit or your life or whatever? And his response always is, it can be an instant. It can be like that, because it's the moment that you decide to change and you commit to being the new person that you're deciding to become. So if you are a real estate professional, maybe you are going to make a decision right now to become a listing agent, to fix the inventory problem in your market. And you may not have the answers right now. When I made that decision, I didn't know exactly how I was going to do it. But I do remember that I went home and I worked out like crazy. I got a massive sweat on. I started momentum that very night. And I just decided, I figured it out as I went along. But it started with the decision, right? It's the decision that creates the change, that gets the change in motion, that begins the process of becoming a new person, becoming a better version of yourself. The only person you should try to be better than is the person you were yesterday. And you do that by making empowering and powerful decisions, committing to those decisions, and then letting nothing get in your way of making that decision and that change become a reality. So I don't know. I felt inspired to share that. I thought it was a great quote. Thought it was also very apropos because it was the same time of year now, 30 some years ago, over 30 years ago that happened. Man, getting old. Anyway, if you found this helpful in any way, I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Give me a like, or maybe even smash the heart button. And if there's anything at all I can do to help or support you, certainly don't hesitate to send me a private message, call or text or email me. I would love to hear from you. And I hope that you decide to make a new decision and make a new commitment in your life and stick to it. None of this New Year's resolution stuff that you make it a week or two and then you give up on and throw in the towel. Commit, make a decision, and your life begins changing when you truly commit to that decision and finding, figuring it out on the way, right? You may not know how, but you'll figure it out on the way if you decide and you commit. All right. Thanks for checking this out. If there's anything I can